Something huge shifted in Charleston this year, and you can feel it even before the cameras catch up. There were quiet resets, unexpected turns, and a few moments that hit way more emotionally than anyone saw coming. In this video, we're running through the latest updates across the entire Southern Charm cast, who's stepping into a new chapter, who's facing the fallout, and what's brewing behind the scenes. If you want the real tea, stick with me. Over the past year, Craig Conover moves like someone trying to breathe deeper on purpose. The loudest headlines aren't just about who he's dating or what cast drama is swirling around him. It's the way he talks about his life when the cameras and the comments finally quiet down. When he steps into 2026, he doesn't present a perfect, polished picture. Instead, he shows up with something softer. A public reset, a forward-looking tone, and a kind of steady determination that suggests he's choosing what comes next with both hands on the wheel. One of the most emotionally striking shifts comes when Craig speaks openly on Southern Charm about alcohol, using the word addict to describe himself and calling it a demon he's fighting. That's not a casual confession. It lands as an emotional turning point because it's not framed as a storyline twist, but as a piece of his real life he's finally naming out loud. In the same breath, he credits Paige DeSorbo with helping him beat this demon, which makes the whole thing feel complicated in a way only real relationships are. It's tender and heavy at the same time. Gratitude, vulnerability, and the unmistakable sense that he's been wrestling with something off camera for a long time. And then there's the breakup shadow that hangs over the year. Craig's first public response to the split with Paige is direct. He says, "It's very, very unexpected," and he's very shocked, while still urging people to be kind to her. That detail matters because it isn't a dramatic takedown or a messy back and forth. It reads like someone trying to hold the line emotionally while the internet does what it always does. Even more striking, the year also includes the revelation that months before the breakup, Craig takes a major step toward future fatherhood by freezing his sperm while they're still together. It's not a flashy headline. It's a quiet, intimate kind of plan that says he's thinking about marriage and kids in a real, concrete way. Knowing that, the split doesn't feel like just another Bravo relationship shift. It carries the weight of a future he was actively preparing for. As the season machine keeps turning, Craig is also out here bracing for what's about to hit the screen. He previews Southern Charm Season 11 as something that feels like a return to the show's roots with fun and flirtation and mess, then jokes he might be leaving the country while everyone watches it unfold. It's funny, but it also feels revealing, like he knows the next wave of talk is coming, and he's already half planning how to protect his peace when it does. That same forward motion shows up again when Bravo reports he's setting a bold 2026 intention that includes solo travel, starting with Switzerland, something that reads less like a flex and more like a personal reset button. Meanwhile, Craig's public life isn't just relationships and reality TV. His business lane stays active, and it's not small stuff. Belk formally announces an exclusive holiday collection with Sewing Down South, a concrete, verifiable milestone that ties his brand to a major retail partner. Bravo also highlights his broader career momentum, mentioning his appearance at a small business showcase at the U.S. Capitol, which positions him as someone pushing beyond reality star into entrepreneur territory. And on Instagram, he reinforces that lifestyle identity in real time, sharing a Charleston-rooted collaboration as a co-host for Better Homes and Gardens Color Stars, then slipping in quieter personal posts that feel like tone setters, calmer routines, softer living, and a deliberate shift toward peace. Taken together, Craig's last 12 months don't play like one clean storyline. They play like a person rebuilding in public, naming hard truths, carrying complicated gratitude, taking steps toward a future he still wants, and moving forward anyway. Over the past year, Shep is moving like someone who finally feels the weight of time and is trying, in real time, to do something about it. You can hear it in the way he talks, and you can see it in the choices he puts on display. The most tangible shift is the one you can actually picture. A new house, a new space, a new chapter that doesn't look like the same old bachelor routine. In early December 2025, Shep pulls back the curtain on a historic home he says runs about $325 million, and the details land like a statement. It's bigger, he says. It's like historical. 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. It's not just a flex. It sounds like he's trying to build a life that finally matches the age he is, not the age he's been pretending to be. And then comes the line that makes it feel personal. He admits he feels 10 years behind, maybe 15, especially when he looks at his siblings with spouses and kids. That's not a throwaway comment. That's Shep, the guy who usually laughs things off, suddenly letting the insecurity show. This move isn't framed as a random upgrade. It reads like an emotional milestone, like he's choosing a place that can hold more than just late nights and good stories. It can hold adulthood. It can hold responsibility. At the same time, Shep is trying to define what growing up looks like without pretending he's become someone else overnight. In mid-December 2025, he talks about dating in a way that's unusually direct for him. He says he's actually excited about a couple different girls from different locations, and that sentence carries a specific kind of honesty, hopeful, restless, and still a little untethered. It's not a grand declaration of love. It's him admitting he's in motion, interested, curious, not boxed in, but not settled either. Then there's the mess that always seems to find him when cameras are nearby. In November 2025, a BravoCon moment blows up where Shep is caught criticizing Craig Conver and Paige DeSorbo's relationship, calling it a sham, and suggesting they've benefited from the attention. It's one of those reality TV collisions where you can practically feel the room temperature change. A comment like that doesn't just drift away. It lands, it spreads, it becomes a headline, and suddenly Shep isn't just dealing with a friend's hurt feelings, he's dealing with public fallout. By December, he's back in the orbit of what matters most on this show. The relationships that keep cracking and reforming. He's positioned in the middle of his ongoing dynamic with Craig and Austen, heading toward reunion season with the clear sense that he has things to say and tension that hasn't fully cooled. It's not framed like peace has been made. It's framed like the next conversation is coming, whether anyone feels ready or not. Outside the drama, Shep is also leaning into something surprisingly grounded, work that lives beyond a season. Around the same time in December 2025, he describes a fun career move, plain and simple. I wrote a book. It's short, but it's loaded. Writing a book is the kind of project you can't finish with charm alone. It suggests focus, follow-through, and a desire to be taken seriously beyond the role he's played for years. And in the middle of all of it, houses, headlines, dating, and reunion tension, there's a quieter moment that feels like a small promise to himself. In early December 2025, Shep posts about trying to be present, admitting he's working on not reaching for the camera when life feels big. Trying to be better about being present and not taking photos when I'm in a pinch-me moment in life, he writes. It's a soft confession, but it's telling. Because for someone whose life is constantly documented, choosing to put the phone down is its own kind of growth. Over the past year, Madison LaCroix's life feels like it's moving in big, irreversible chapters, each one marked by a photo, a quote, a quiet confession, and then suddenly, a headline. In early February 2025, she puts it into words the way only Madison can. And just like that, our world is changing in the most magical way. She announces she's pregnant. Her second child, and her first with her husband Brett Randall, and the tone is unmistakably tender. She talks about seeing that pregnant result and lets the moment linger, like she's still trying to fully absorb the reality. Not long after, the story expands beyond baby news. Madison is also carrying the weight of something harder, Brett's health. In March 2025, she gives an update in the Southern Charm orbit that's both relieved and raw, acknowledging that even with good news, the worry doesn't just evaporate. It's the kind of truth that sits in your chest when a family has been through a scare you don't go back to before. You just learn how to keep living, carefully, with gratitude and a little fear in the same breath. As the family grows, the logistics start shifting too. By March 8, 2025, Madison publicly confirmed she's listing her Charleston home for $1,000 million, tying it to a new season of life and the reality of needing more space. And then summer hits like a wave. In July, Madison turns the page from pregnancy into motherhood again, this time with a daughter named Teddy. She shares it with that burst of joy that sounds almost breathless. The sweetest thing happened. I had a baby. But the glow of a newborn moment comes with a real-world edge. In the same stretch of time, it becomes clear that baby Teddy spends 2 weeks in the NICU. Madison doesn't flatten it into a tidy caption. She frames it as a lived experience, 2 weeks of back and forth and holding your breath, until finally, on July 13, 2025, she shares the kind of sentence every parent aches to say, they're home, all together. And even the name carries a pulse of emotion. In July 2025, coverage confirms Teddy's name honors Madison's late father, Ted, one of those choices that's both a celebration and a way of keeping someone close. By September 2025, Madison is settling into the rhythms of this new family of 4 chapter. She shares personal home moments, including baby Teddy's space, calling it a room full of love, and she leans into the meaning behind her daughter's name again, as if grounding herself in what matters. Around this time, the move becomes more tangible in how she presents her life, new house energy, new baby energy, and the kind of domestic calm she seems to actively protect. She doesn't pause her career either. In July 2025, Bravo highlights a business milestone tied to her brand LaCroix, spotlighting her pajama line and positioning it as a real focus work she's building, while she's also building a bigger family. Then December brings another kind of milestone. On December 15, 2025, she shares her first holiday card as a family of 4 and connects it to their new home and new baby, presenting it as proof of how far they've come. But Madison's year isn't all soft lighting and matching pajamas. On November 15, 2025, she reveals she's involved in a frightening car accident in Las Vegas during BravoCon 2025, and the impact is immediate. She pulls out of a Watch What Happens live appearance. And then, right at the end of the year, she's back in the middle of a different kind of fire, social media backlash. In late December 2025, she responds after criticism erupts over a video involving 5-month-old Teddy. Madison doesn't let the narrative run away from her. She clarifies she isn't shaving Teddy's entire head, only a patch, and she addresses the mom-shaming head-on. It's protective, firm, and unmistakably Madison. Warm when she can be, direct when she needs to be. By November 19, 2025, she marks 3 years married to Brett, calling the relationship steady and safe. And you can feel how much those words matter after everything this year contains. Health fears, a NICU journey, a move, a business push, and moments where the internet tries to take control of the story. Through it all, Madison keeps showing the same thing in different forms. This is her life, and she's the one narrating it. Kroll the War Yorking Instagram official. Key posts, newest T posts, newest HTTPs, SHTTPEs. Instagram. Complofidr TV UVEX DSA7 and Anno November 29, 2025 sees Austen posts what reads like a holiday family moment with the captions Christmas card loading. He tags Kroll and frames the post like a seasonal milestone, implying he's putting together a polished family card-style update rather than a casual upload. The post functions as a warm end-of-year PCXM NIMP 18. On November 18, 2025, Austen shares a very public gratitude. Can you believe this? Moment that begins, holy shit y'all. And references this being the 6th time he's posting something like this. The tone is emotional and reflective. He's reacting to how fast time is moving and how surreal it feels to keep hitting new personal milestones in front of a large audience. It lands as a candid, I'm overwhelmed in a good way statement rather than show promo. HTTP is WW. Com PDRN DHZGBRN Twanin on the November 18, 2025. Austen posts an emotional note that starts. So, I just got off the phone with my mom and says she is gushing about how kind everyone was and that people had such nice things to say. H. He frames it as a meaningful moment that hits him through his mom's reaction, not just his own. This is one of the more openly sentimental updates. He's spotlighting gratitude and how public support affects his family. http:// CHGWW. Instagram. ComMePDOMG Millie Wait Wage, H. Lennon. On September 4, 2025's Austen posts a travel status flex titled, "The Summer I Turned Diamond on a Delta." It's a specific personal milestone, elite frequent flyer status, presented as a life update rather than a Bravo storyline. The caption reads like a celebratory mini accomplishment and signals how much he's been traveling in that season of life. https CGBW. Instagram. ComPDMWFCBGH Lenny 2A 2025. Austen posts a business social. The post documents a real-world friend collab hang that doubles as a brand community moment around his Charleston hospitality circle. It's notable because it's not show content, it's Austen framing his off-camera life and relationships around the businesses he's building. https WW Instagram. ComEPDK LFBGJ4M5 HE Flynn. On the June 16, 2025, Austen marks his birthday with a life-at-home milestone, "Happy Birthday, to me." Meet Piper and Martini, and calls them the newest little stars of SCC and my peachy TT. He jokes, sorry in advance to non-cat lovers, and warns his IG stories are about to be cat-heavy. This is a clear new chapter post. He's adding pets roommates to his day-to-day life in Charleston. https ins Charleston https ATSE OITXE7 on HFIL20 non-HFIL20 2025 Ace. Austen posts a pop culture quote style moment that's deliberately loud and comedic. "If anybody orders Merlot, I'm leaving. I am not drinking any few purse per in Merlot." It's less announcement and more personality, reinforcing his on-brand. Even so, it's a clean example of his public voice, reactive, meme-able, and built for comments shares. News, reputable outlets, verified updates, newest Aki, oldest Aki, oldest https YVO WW Bravo Davi, Comrith Aki WWW Saki Yak, Shep Rose Craig Conover Austen Kroll season. 11 reunion plans. On its December 17, 2025, Bravo publishes Shep Rose's reunion strategy tease involving Austen Kroll and Craig Conover after a dramatic Southern Charm season 11's. Shep frames where he stands with both of them and signals that the reunion is not. This matters for Austen because it places him in the center of the show's core triangle dynamic, Austen, Craig, Shep, heading into the most consequential accountability moment of the season. https xgtbu Bravo DV Comic The Daily Dish Who is Austen Kroll dating now December 2025 update. On a December 4, 2025, Bravo runs a direct "Where is his love life now?" update on Austen after the Audrey Pratt breakup. The piece notes Austen and Kiki Barth keep in contact over Instagram, and a 26 Austen Instagram roundup from BravoCon 2025, where Kiki reacts in the comments with heart emojis, showing that the flirtation chatter is now public-facing and trackable. The article frames Austen as post-breakup, figuring it out, while emphasizing that his dating storyline remains a central engine for season 11 conversation. http is SSS XTTTEWW. eOnline. Com News 42254N8. Southern Charms, Austen Kroll confirms. Audrey Pratt breakup. He explains the relationship shifts into a next step question during the season and says outside voices complicate things. You have to hear the outside noise from friends, unwanted opinions, and things start to seep in. Austen sums it up bluntly. The relationship was a casualty this year. He also describes being newly single as emotionally mixed, missing partnership, but also feeling pulled back toward independence. HTTPS, HPPS, SACHPPS. Southern Charm Austen Kroll confirms. Split Audrey Pratt 11/7/9/1536. On November 15, 2025, confirms the same breakup in a separate report anchored to BravoCon, placing the split just shy of the 2-year mark and reiterating Austen's explanation that filming pressure and outside opinions accelerate the collapse. It preserved Austen's key phrasing, the relationship was a casualty, and frames the breakup as a confirmed life change, not a rumor cycle. This is useful as a second major outlet confirmation that documents the relationship timeline and the public statement context. https www Bravo W Kamala The Daily Dish Southern Charm Season 11 Trailer Cast Premiere Date T Spoilers Details. On October 9, 2025, Bravo drops the Season 11 details and explicitly positions Austen's relationship status as storyline fuel. The write-up points to him having doubts about his future with Audrey as the season unfolds. It confirms the Season 11 premiere date, 19, and places Austen in the center of the cast's life after love framing, which sets the stage for later breakup confirmation. The article functions like the official roadmap. Austen's romantic uncertainty is treated as a headline arc. https ASA 6 Scamcraft ATBUW Bravo W Scamcraft 8CVW Bravo W-1T5 on August 2025. On August 2025, Bravo documents a concrete personal life upgrade. Austen shows off his finished under-the-stairs wine cellar. He also shares he's planning a next kitchen change, repainting cabinets to match the new installation, making it an ongoing home project storyline. The piece additionally connects back to his pet milestone, Cat's Piper and Martini, and frames his home as increasingly settled, not just a temporary bachelor setup. https://worsass/worse/less or eBravoV. The Daily Dish Austen Kroll announces FC infused seltzer line Trop Hop Update exclusive. On August 14, 2025, Bravo reports a major career product expansion. Austen announces Trop Hop is launching a HCHC seltzer, saying, "I'm coming out with a THC seltzer," and adds, "very soon, in fact." He acknowledges the crowded celebrity beverage space but insists there's room and emphasizes, "I'm very excited." It's a clear business pivot scale move. His brand is expanding beyond beer into a new category, framed as an inked, calm, pregnant Madison LaCroix shares. Emotional reaction to learning. She is pregnant, 11688418. On February 28, 2025, HSK Opal includes Austen in a verified cast real-life moment. Update when Madison LaCroix describes his reaction to her pregnancy news. Madison says Austen sends a supportive, reflective text. "Look at how far we've come. 5 years ago we're arguing and now everybody's growing up and starting families," she adds, that he makes her believe he's genuinely happy for her, which is a notable character relationship evolution beat for Austen that contrasts earlier conflict-heavy seasons. https://www Bravo W Kamathi Daily Dish Austen Kroll Girlfriend Audrey Pratt Relationship Update, January 2025. On January 31, 2025, Bravo publishes an early-year relationship status check where Austen reflects on past tumultuous. The framing is that he is actively thinking differently about commitment and long-term direction rather than repeating old patterns. In hindsight, it reads like a before-the-fall checkpoint. It captures his public mindset months before the later breakup confirmation. https seconds pps seconds kps seconds kps fracom 1 seconds kps T78185 On Thausbecken 28185, on February 7, 2025, PE Opal publishes a verified backgrounder that documents the relationship timeline and how Audrey approaches the spotlight. It states they start dating in his December 2023, go public in his May 2024, and that Audrey is open to filming after discussing it with Austen, positioning the relationship as intentional, not accidental exposure. The piece is useful as the clean who, when, how source that later breakup coverage relies on. YouTube official, verified only, newest, cold, oldest, URLs only, https, www, YouTube, comwatch, w8pnczor YouTube, comwatch, www, YouTube, comwatch, vfm, www, YouTube. Comwatch www.www.www.wtttzopowwww. Over the past year, Kathryn Dennis stays in that familiar Southern charm spotlight, except now the light feels harsher, colder, and more personal than ever. In early 2025, the people once closest to her in the show's orbit describe a distance that feels heavy. Austen says he reaches out, that he tries to reconnect in small human ways. He even mentions they used to get pedicures together, and he calls the silence tough. Patricia Altschul echoes it in her own way, admitting she hasn't heard from Kathryn either. And, in that quiet space where a friend group used to be loud, Kathryn's absence becomes its own kind of statement. But Kathryn doesn't disappear. Instead, she returns and flashes brief windows into her world that are less polished and more intimate. On January 14, 2025, she shares a simple Charleston sunrise, a good morning moment that feels like breath in cold air. Bravo later ties it back to her earlier goodbye to the show, her decade-long wild ride, and you can feel the contrast, the softness of a morning sky against the weight of everything that's followed her. The updates that come after keep leaning into that same theme. Motherhood, reflection, a life that's smaller on the surface but intense underneath. In April and May of 2025, Bravo spotlights rare family-oriented moments and Mother's Day messaging, framing Kathryn as a mom first. The tone shifts away from parties and drama and toward values and legacy, toward the quiet work of showing up for Kinsey and Saint. Then the year hardens again. In October 2025, the legal consequences turn sharply public. PE Opal reports Kathryn is sentenced to 30 days in jail, stemming from the DUI case tied to her May 20, 2024 arrest, and she is booked in Berkeley County, South Carolina on October 3rd. The details land with a thud: the DUI count, the open container-related charge, the sense that this isn't just a headline but a moment that forces everything to stop. Almost immediately, the story expands beyond criminal court. People reports she's named in a lawsuit by Larry Patrick Griffin, who claims he is seriously injured in a 3-vehicle collision connected to that same 2024 crash. The complaint alleges she failed to slow, struck a truck, and set off a chain reaction that ultimately hits Griffin's vehicle. It's a civil case asking for damages for serious bodily injury, pain and suffering, and mental anguish. Local reporting from ABC News 4 adds more scene-specific texture, describing the Highway 52 crash in Goose Creek and citing officers who say many bottles of Fireball are found, with some appearing opened or empty. The words are clinical, but the picture is vivid. Highway asphalt, flashing lights, the kind of aftermath that lingers long after the cameras leave. And then, at the edge of the new year, Kathryn speaks in a completely different register. Less legal, more emotional, more raw. On December 31, 2025, she posts a heated, unfiltered clip pushing back on how she feels she's being portrayed, insisting on controlling her own narrative. One line cuts through with dramatic certainty: "I am a princess of the South." It's defiant, personal, and unmistakably Kathryn-like. She's drawing a hard line between who she is and who the world keeps trying to make her. By January 1st, 2026, she posts a New Year ocean challenge, describing late nights and freezing cold conditions as she sets a goal to go in the ocean every day. It reads like a public promise, an attempt to rebuild rhythm, to prove endurance, to step into the water even when it stings. And that's where Kathryn stands now, between silence and statement, between courtroom reality and sunrise reflection, trying to keep her footing as the tide keeps coming in.